out the door, Tulsi Gabbard drops a nuclear document dump exposing Anthony Fauci's filthy legacy. And the mainstream press, those gutless, ballless, nutless, titless traitors, treat it like it's 2 points on a driver's license. In one of her final acts as Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi released hundreds of pages of previously undisclosed communications and documents, which suggest that Fauci used his influence inside the intel community to steer COVID origin investigations away from the lab leak theory, promote experts who backed a natural origin explanation, and then misled Congress about the extent of his involvement. Now, real media would be all over this, but not after spending years on their knees swallowing every syllable uttered by this noxious gnome. They even branded lab leak truth tellers as dangerous conspiracy freaks. But now the lies get exposed and they shift to algae in the reflecting pool. That'll change, I'm sure, once they find out that Fauci turned the algae into a murderous swamp creature. It happens. Meanwhile, Rand Paul announced he's seeking a subpoena to force Fauci back under oath next month, which is probably why Joe gave Fauci a sweeping preemptive pardon, a move Rand is now trying to challenge. Because this wasn't innocent science, like the millions that Jesse's poured into bald research on mice. Great Photoshop. This was American tax dollars shoveled straight into the Wuhan lab so these reckless assholes could take bad animal viruses and make them worse, more contagious, more lethal, better at jumping to humans, better at dodging your immune system. It's worse than any STD you could get from Graham Plattner. They turned mild bat into a mass murdering monster in a lab with safety protocols looser than a Tijuana whorehouse during spring break. Specifically the one where someone stole my Carpenter's CDs. But just one screw up and boom, millions dead. Economies torched, kids masked and isolated like prisoners. People died alone without even being Keith Olbermann. Then when the virus starts wreaking havoc on the world, what did Fauci do? As Tulsi's office described, he helped create a self-serving circular reporting loop, providing hand-picked scientists to advise the IC. This input shaped official intel assessments, which were then publicly cited as scientific consensus to refute the lab leak theory. And the press jumped right in. They censored doctors, destroyed lives, cheered the lockdowns, and instead of blaming the lab leakers, they blamed eating pangolins and bats, which ruined my tasty pangolin and bat fondue. So now look at us. We walk into any pharmacy and see the aisle. It's cold, flu, and COVID season for the rest of our lives. We've accepted this third plague like sheep, stocking up on tests like they're AA batteries. Yet every single COVID death, every grandmother who died alone, every father robbed of his kids, every destroyed business and suicide came from that lab. Think of the funding, the lies, the cover-up. We say never forget, but so many of us already moved on because the truth is too ugly and the punishment deserved is too vast. It's too overwhelming to think about. If our government helped birth a monster and then lied while it slaughtered us, it's just easier to buy a test than demand heads on pikes. Let's welcome